now the title card's not even accurate anymore. Aaron's not going to be here for weeks. Like, who the hell knows? But whatever. There might be stuff he wrote in here. He's definitely not hosting. But I'm John Maher. I'm here. I'm always here. I never leave my house. This is why we love horror trivia. We are getting deep into the title picture of the Why We Love Horror Trivia Singles Championship. The winner of this match is going to go on to play in a number one contenders match. I can say that right now. We are nearing the end. 2 top 5 competitors. I'm excited. It's a match that was supposed to kind of happen, but didn't happen. And now it's happening. So I'm going to bring in the higher ranked competitor chose to come in first. So Shannon Briggs, our number 2 ranked competitor in the rankings. How are you feeling today? And how do you feel about your opponent?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I feel like I could. It's time for me kind of like bounce back. I think the last time I appeared on here, I kind of dropped the ball on my Just Eclipse my tile run on the first round. I found out very embarrassing, but but no, I'm looking forward. I was unfortunately Jake, he weren't able to compete in that 1-3-way, and it was me and Eric. And if anybody has watched, they know that Eric, prevailed in that match. But yeah, I'm looking forward. I watched his other matches, and yeah, like Jake knows his stuff. Like I said, even though he'll be very modest, like most of us, about his knowledge, but I do believe to get this far in the top 5, you definitely have to be like a cut above like the normal kind of like horror trivia. As far as like aficionado. So no, I'm looking forward.
Yeah, I would say with the exception of maybe one person, this entire league is maybe too modest, but we'll bring in a champion of modesty, the number 5 ranked competitor, one half of the team's champions, one half of Black Shabbat, Jake Meltzer. How's it going, Jake?
It's going good. I'm not going to talk myself down as much today as I did certainly my last match. That's not to say I'm not expecting one way or another. Shannon, obviously a very formidable player, somebody who seems to really be a specialist in this arena, more so than I think a lot of competitors, myself included. But that doesn't mean that I don't think I have a chance to win. I definitely do. I just know it's going to be a really tough match. And I think it's ultimately going to come down to the round 2 spin. Whoever gets a better round 2 spin, I think is going to win this match no matter what. So I'm hoping for better luck in round 2 is really all I'm going to say. I think Shannon is a really good competitor regardless. I'm glad I get to play him now when I don't have literally everything coming down on me at once in my life. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one. And I'm excited to get started.
All right. Well, 3-round match. How we always go in round 1. It is the Why We Love Horror Trivia Speed Round. You'll only find it here. Prior to the match, both these guys drafted 4 categories. I wrote 8 questions. We're going to ask all 8 questions at once. So they should be numbering their boards 1 through 8 right now. I'll read a question. I'll wait 10 seconds. I'll read another question. And I'm going to keep doing that just like that until I read 8 questions. And the round will end 10 seconds after I read the last question. However, for the duration of this match, both competitors have 3 repeats in a challenge. If they want to forfeit one of those repeats, I'm happy to just suspend this being a speed round. I'll repeat as many questions as they want and give them 20 extra seconds once I'm done doing that to clean up their boards. But like I said, it will cost them that repeat. But if you do answer all 8 questions correctly, I got a 9th question waiting for you. It's sitting there very lonely, waiting to be asked. But Shannon's done it before. Shannon's the part of the Perfect Round Club. So maybe he might be the first 2-time member of that club. We'll find out now as we read question number 1, which comes in the category of giallo films. At the conclusion of A Bay of Blood, Albert and Renata are killed by someone who is related to them. How? Aaron loves this movie way more than I do, and I'll leave it at that. Your second question comes in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. In New Nightmare, which one of Heather's co-stars, playing themselves, is the one who suggests she take Dylan to the doctor for help? It's great advice. Your kid is sick, take them to the doctor. In canon films, who plays Chop Top in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? I should have capitalized chainsaw. Let me do that for you purists out there. Here we go. Moving on to A24 movies. Who directed Y2K? Who did it? Eligible now. Get on it. Check out that movie. I liked it a lot. I think I might have liked it more than Aaron. I don't know. Moving on to Samara Weaving. What does Derek Cho do for a living in Mayhem? And what he does at the company. The company he works for, I believe, does not do what he does, but he does something at that company. Your next one. In 2010s, how long does the platform stay at each level in the film of the same name? Moving on to swan songs, or the final films of people. What star of Poltergeist's last film was Poltergeist 3? And your final question comes in the category of director filmographies. Who directed both 47 Meters Down movies, The Strangers Pray at Night, and Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City? And your chance to utilize a repeat to extend the round ends in 5, 4.
I'll go with number. Can you please repeat number 6 for me?
Number 6, just number 6.
Right. Yes, please.
In the 2010s, how long does the platform stay at each level in the film of the same name?
God.
20 seconds from right now.
That one's going to kill me. Ugh.
I feel you could even educated guess your way into this answer, but
I mean, I have a guess for sure.
Yeah.
Just, I saw this when it came out, and I haven't seen it since.
Picture those Spanish people stuffing their faces. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll drop that down, and we'll go to Shannon first. Shannon, what are your answers for this round?
Number 1, I went with Children. Number 2, I went with John Saxon. Number 3, Bill Moseley. Number 4, Cal Moody. Number 5, System Out Analyst. Number 6, 1 Hour. Number 7, Heather O'Rourke. And I did not know number 8.
And Jake.
Okay. Number 1, just guessed Uncle. Number 2, John Saxon. Number 3, Bill Moseley. Number 4, Kyle Mooney. Number 5, he's a lawyer. Number 6, I guessed One Day. Number 7, I said Zelda Rubinstein. And then number 8, I said Johannes Roberts.
At the end of round 1, we are tied up 5-5. The person who kills them, it is their children. Their son pulls the trigger more times than their daughter does. But their kids killed them by accident because they think they're just playing around. John Saxon is the co-star that gives her the advice. Bill Moseley plays Chop Top. Kyle Mooney directed Y2K. Derek Cho, Stephen Yeun's character, is a lawyer. The platform only stays at each level for 2 minutes, and then it goes down on the next level. Heather O'Rourke's final film was Poltergeist 3, and Johannes Roberts is the director of those movies. Zelda Rubinstein stuck around for much longer because she's definitely in Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon, which I think might be her final movie. Anywho, we're moving on to round number 2. Round number 2 works like this. It is the wheel round. All 8 of those categories are on a wheel now. I would say the player in the lead gets to choose the order of play, but they're tied. So we're going to defer to the higher ranked player, being Shannon, can decide the order of play in this round. Whoever spins first spins the wheel. They can either take the category they land on or utilize one respin. Eventually, they're going to land on the category they have to take. They're going to get 5 2-point questions in that category. Multiple choice is available. If you opt for multiple choice, question's worth 1 point at that time. You got 15 seconds to answer the question. I'll give you 2 repeats of the options in addition to the repeats you have left. And in the end, you're incorrect, though. Look out. Your opponent can steal for the current point value of the questions. Bring in that wheel, Shannon. Categories in the wheel today. Giallo Films, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Canon Pictures, A24 produced. Samara Weaving, the 2010s, Swan Songs, and Director Filmography. Would you like to spin first or defer?
I think I will defer.
All right, Jake, here's your first spin. You get Canon Productions.
That's
that looks
my
like
worst category here. Spin that again.
I'm seeing a spin. Yeah, it is a deep category. And you get something you're probably more familiar with, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. We'll put that
a little better. Yeah.
We'll put that backstage. And we'll talk about these a little franchise, a little known franchise called the Nightmare on Elm Street. All right, Jake, you ready for these Nightmare on Elm Street questions?
Only one way to find out. Let's do this.
Here we go. What band provides the title track from the soundtrack to A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Dio, B, Dokken, C, Dream Theater, or D, Death?
I'm just going to throw a dart and say B. As in
That dart hits. Dokken sings Dream Warriors. That is correct. Your second question. Who plays Kristen in A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master?
As of this recording, it was 3 nights ago, Tuesday night.
That is correct. Tuesday night. Your third question. Who directed A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child?
Who did which one? I think Rennie Harlan did The Dream Child.
That is incorrect. Chance for a 2-point steal.
Other one.
Who directed A Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child, Shannon?
I do believe that is Stephen Hopkins.
Shit!
Stephen Hopkins is the correct answer.
Oh, it's between those two. Goddamn. Well, good game, Shannon.
Your fourth question. What's the last name of the family that has moved into Nancy's house in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge?
I'm going to be kicking myself for that last one. I believe it is Walsh.
They are the Walshes.
Yes.
And your final question. In Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, in the dream that launches John into Springwood, what profession does Freddy have?
I don't want to risk another 2-point steal, so I'm going to check down to multiple choice.
All right. A, mechanic. B, pilot. C, garbage man. Or D, bus driver.
Okay, I probably should have shot if this is the scene I think it is. I should have gone for 2. Pilot.
That is incorrect. Chance for a 1-point steal. Shannon, is it A, mechanic, B, pilot, C, garbage man, or D, bus driver?
I'm going to go with C.
C is also incorrect. He drives a bus, and then the bus stops short, and John goes flying into Springwood.
I thought that was only in 2.
He definitely drives a bus in 2 as well. He loves driving buses
2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that in 2 it's a school bus. This one it's like a charter bus. At the end of that round, Jake getting his score up to 9, Shannon with the steal getting his score up to 7. We're going to bring the wheel back in. And Shannon, your first spin lands on the 2010s. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I think I will tempt fate and spin again.
All right, let's see where it lands. And you get Giallo. Giallo is what you will get. We'll put that wheel away, and we'll ask you some Giallo questions. Here's your first question. What's the profession of Diana, the woman who loses her sight in Dark Glasses?
Will go with the politically correct term. I think she's a sex worker.
I will accept sex worker. I had prostitute, but sex worker is what we call them nowadays. That is correct. Your second question. Who directed The House by the Cemetery?
That would be the legend Lucio Fulci.
That is correct. Your third question. What Giallo film features a serial killer known as the Monster?
Multiple choice, please.
Is it A, Too Beautiful to Die, B, Delirium, C, The Killer is Still Among Us, or D, Body Count?
I will go with the only one that out of the ones that stuck out to me. I will go with B, Delirium.
That is incorrect. Jake, chance for a 1-point steal. Is it A, Too Beautiful to Die, B, Delirium, C, The Killer is Still Among Us, or D, Body Count?
All right, another dart throw, because Delirium's the only one I have heard of. So I'll this dart throw. I'm gonna go A.
A is also incorrect. He is the killer in The Killer is Still Among Us. The Killer is Still Among Us. Your penultimate question, Shannon. What MCU actor plays Alfredo Grassi, the serial killer in the Stendhal syndrome?
I will go with multiple choice on that.
Is it A, Thomas Kretschmann, B, Toby Jones, C, Andy Serkis, or D, Mads Mikkelsen?
I'm going to guess A, Thomas Kretschmann.
That is correct.
Considering he has a history of being in Argento films. Yeah, so I was, yeah.
Your final question.
I know it's Argento. Damn it.
What is the name given to the killer in 1987's Stage Fright?
Ooh. I'm going to have multiple choice on that one, too.
All right. Is it A, Nocturnus, B, the Night Owl, C, the Bird of Prey, or D, the Talon? 5, 4.
I will go with D.
That is incorrect. Jake, chance for a 1-point steal. Is it A, Nocturnus, B, the Night Owl, C, the Bird of Prey, or D, the Talon?
Well, the last dart that hit on B was correct, so I'll try that again. The Night Owl.
If you've seen the movie, it's a giant owl head. He is the Night Owl. That is correct.
I was thinking it was too obvious on it. I knew it was an owl head, but I couldn't. It's been a while since I saw it once.
Well, at the end of that round, Shannon in the lead at 12, Jake right behind at 10. We're going to go into our final round, which is the synopses round. Prior to the match, both sides chose 3 general categories to be placed into a pool. Starting with the side that's trailing, that is Jake. He'll choose a category from those 6 categories. I'll read a 2-point synopsis from that category. You have 15 seconds to identify the movie I'm describing. Play then continues with players going through 2, 3, and 5-point questions. Every time that there's a tie or somebody else takes the lead, I'll switch control of the round. Play will end when I've either read 6 movies or one player is mathematically unable to catch up. All right, so in round number 3, the categories we got for you today. We got the 2010s, European horror, psychological thrillers, slashers, vampires and werewolves, and zombies and other undead. Jake, what would you like a 2-point question?
I will go with slashers at 2.
All right. Slashers for 2. A college student must relive the day of her murder over and over again in a loop that will end only when she discovers the killer's identity. Name that movie.
Could there technically be 2 answers to this? I'll just say Happy Death Day.
There's only one answer to it. It is Happy Death Day, because in the second movie, it's a different person reliving that loop over and over again, and sometimes it's a guy, so it wouldn't be her. So, but Happy Death Day is correct.
Okay. I mean, I was always going to say Happy Death Day, but I was always going to.
And also, the loop doesn't end in the second one when they discover the killer's identity. It's when the machine gets destroyed. So a lot of technical.
One time, and I don't remember a thing about it.
Yeah.
So.
But with that, we will go over to Shannon now. I'll take slashers off the table. You're left with 5 categories, and the categories you can choose from are 2010s, European horror, psychological thrillers, vampires and werewolves, and zombies and other undead. What would you like for a 2-pointer?
I will go with the European horror.
There we go. European horror. Your first, or your 2-pointer, rather, in European horror. 4 months after the death of her husband, a woman on the brink of motherhood is tormented in her home. A strange woman wants her unborn baby. Name that movie.
That would be Inside.
That is your Inside. All right, back over to you for a pointer. Category 12 left. We got 2010s. We got psychological thrillers, vampires and werewolves, and other undead. What would you like for a 3-pointer?
Before that, you're kind of cutting out. I don't know if that's just me or not.
No, you're kind of on my side too, John.
Can you hear me now? Or am I still?
I can hear you. You're just lagging a little bit. That's
I won't let it affect their timing. So the things you can choose: 2010 psychological thrillers, vampire wolves, and zombie or undead.
Okay. Let's see. I'll go 2010s.
All right, 2010s for 3 points. Orbiting a planet on the brink of war, scientists test a device to solve an energy crisis and end up face to face with a dark alternate reality. Name that movie.
Oh man. Oh man.
5, 4.
I'll use one repeat.
That's your first repeat. For 3 points, orbiting a planet on the brink of war, scientists test a device to solve an energy crisis and end up face to face with a dark alternate reality. Name that movie. Five, 4, 3.
I don't think I'm gonna pull it, so I don't know.
That is the I don't know if it's the third movie in a trilogy or what. This is the Cloverfield Paradox. The Cloverfield Paradox.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Remember that movie?
I watched it right after the Super Bowl, like everybody else, and no, clearly.
Well, we're going to move on to your 5-pointer. The categories you could choose that are psychological thrillers, vampires and werewolves, and zombies and other undead. Where do you feel most confident for a 5?
Nowhere, but if I had to pick, that was my most confident category, and I clearly blew it. So I'm just going to throw my last dart at vampires and werewolves.
All right. Jake coming with darts today, all over the place. Vampire and werewolves. Here's your 5-pointer. A defense attorney begins to suspect that there might be more to her client, who is charged with the murders of a vacationing family than meets the eye. Name that movie.
Man, I just choking hard today.
5, 4.
I'll use at least one repeat.
Here's your second repeat. A defense attorney begins to suspect that there might be more to her client, who is charged with the murders of a vacationing family than meets the eye. Name that movie.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna pull it. I guess my charmed run in this league has officially come to a crashing halt. Let's throw out Vampire's Kiss. Congrats, Shannon.
And your winner, Shannon Briggs. That is Where. WER Where. I would recommend it. It's pretty good. That being said, we'll go to our post-match interviews. Jake, I mean, honestly, for somebody that is basically doing this as an enrichment course, you're doing very well. So I'll say that at least. How are you feeling though?
I'm just so annoyed at myself that I missed the director's question, which is my bread and butter here and everywhere else. And I know every other, like, it's just those two movies that I go back and forth. I know the rest of the Nightmare on Elm Street directors cold, including Freddy versus Jason. I just mixed them up this one time and it cost me. And I was hoping Shannon wouldn't be the high level competitor he is and take advantage, but he is, and he did take advantage. And that's what cost me the match ultimately, because if that were the case, I would have been ahead coming out of round. I think I would have been up 2 coming out of round 2 if that was the case. And then who knows, we could have been tied and go to sudden death. We both hit our 2 and missed our 3 and 5. But yeah, that's really what the match comes down to. But he played really well, and I think we both kind of did about the same in round 2. Like I had said, it would come down to who would do better in round 2. We did about the same, with the exception of the one steal. But yeah, it's what it is. I guess I take a break now for a little while in this league. I'm excited to come back whenever the time comes, whether it's in singles or to defend our team's belts. And I hope I hope for the best for Shannon, because if I'm gonna lose to somebody, it might as well be to person who loses to Abby. So
I would have loved to have seen the Civil War, but not this time. Maybe the next go around we'll get it. But yeah, I think we probably will see you back in teams and singles, maybe around the same exact time. I don't know, but it won't be too long. But we'll see you then, Jake. It's always a pleasure having you. And check him out on Why We Love Horror now for the next few weeks. He'll be there. So see you then, Jake. Bring in today's winner. Moving on to the number one contenders match. Shannon, great work. Yeah, and kind of like what Jake said, it was pretty even. You just were able to slip those jabs when you needed to get ahead. How you feeling?
Oh yeah, I mean I agree. It just a lot of times, this is the second round where it all comes down to, and a lot of times, you just have to hope that if someone especially misses a 2-point question, that you're able to at least be able to have an answer for it. And I just lucked out that it was a question that that I like the 2-pointer that I was able to get answered. I mean, I can understand, like say them as far as the 2 Nightmare films, it's kind of, as far as them ones, especially the later ones, it's kind of hard to kind of necessarily remember all the keep the directors kind of straight of them, the later sequels especially. But no, I was, like I said, I've seen Jake play, and I was, like I said, I expected at least to be a very good round, and like I said, we stayed even the first round, and then second round, I was able to kind of capitalize on that one. But yeah, I can't say I can't go around it, because there was a few on the Jowl ones that I kind of played a little bit. I kind of thought a little bit too hard on him, and then kind of allowed him to kind of at least get within striking distance in the third round. And he just, again, it's the plot synopsis. It can be, like I said, it can be very tricky, especially if you're not up on up on your IMDb as far as the what ones go to that. Because again, that one for Corporeal Paradox, you could argue that the plot synopsis could go with several different kinds of sci-fi related horror movies, especially in the around that time. But no, I'm, as far as going looking forward, it's kind of familiar scene to kind of go back into the number one contenders.
Before you go on, I actually misspoke, because I miscalculated the amount of people that are left. You are going to play Kerry, and the winner of that match will go to the number one contenders match. I apologize to everyone watching. I didn't mean to string you along. Kerry is still kicking around. She has not lost yet. But the winner of that match will play the winner of the other 2 people who I'm not talking about, Dylan Van Thine and Jade Collins. So the winners of those 2 matches will play the number one contenders match. So you got one more to go, Shannon. Sorry.
Okay. Well, it's Carrie. I faced her in the past, and I came out victorious on that one. But that doesn't necessarily, I'm not going to take for granted that that's going to be the case before, because again, it just, like I said before, sometimes it can depend on the categories and just how well you turn out, especially in the second round. So again, I know Carrie she's definitely, again, like I said before, at this point, anybody that I'm playing right now, I know will definitely deserves to be up the upper echelon as far as the rankings. So I'm not going to take anybody lightly. So
all right, well, that is exactly how I put it. You're almost there. You're one step away, and I wish you the best of luck in your next match. But let's put a bow on this match for today. That'll do it. Semifinals coming up. Apologize for letting you think this was going to be that's on me. That's on me. We'll put a bunch of disclaimers. We'll draw things on my face, whatever. But we're almost there, and we'll see you next time. Though, if you made it this far, though, please like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the old Letterboxd challenge we got over here. I'll give you that link. Look at that. Go there. We'd love you to do that. Schedule here is always the same. Sunday, my daughter has a show that everybody watches. And on Monday, Will and I do a show called Versus that nobody watches. So you get to see, from one day to the next, you get to see the huge change in popularity. And then Thursday, the shows people kind of like Why We Love Horror. And then people seem to watch this show too, Why We Love Horror Trivia. And we give you 2 of them every week. Thank you for stopping by. For myself, For Jake and Shannon, this has been Why We Love Horror Trivia.
Game over.
I'll fucking kill you!